Good morning, Digit fam. Adam Doud here, closing out the week from my remote recording studio, and very echoey remote recording studio, by the way. Also known as The Comfort Inn. This podcast not brought to you by The Comfort Inn. Well, not sponsored by it anyway. Public service announcement. Star Trek Picard dropped its first episode yesterday, and folks, I gotta tell you, it is so good. Seriously, the only thing missing is Picard babysitting a baby alien. I won't give away any spoilers, but he is getting ready to put a team together to get out into space, and holy crap, this is gonna be great. But you know what is not so great? Our top story. So let's get to it. It is January 24th, 2019, and this is your Digit Daily. The Doomsday Clock, for those of you not familiar, is a representation of just how close we are to global annihilation, or Doomsday, as it were. Oh, did I forget a part? Yes, I did. How close we are to man-made global catastrophe, meaning how close we are to completely screwing ourselves out of existence. The global representation of Christian Slater's career. It's really bad, people. Well, the Doomsday Clock is maintained by the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists, and gosh, I wonder what prompted them to come up with this idea. It ticks to midnight, with midnight being pretty much the end of, us. And we just ticked down another 20 seconds. We were at 2 minutes to midnight, now we're at just 100 seconds until we all kill ourselves. Isn't that special? According to the smart folks that run the clock, quote, civilization-ending nuclear war, whether started by design, blunder, or simple miscommunication, is a genuine possibility. Climate change that could devastate the planet is undeniably happening, and for a variety of reasons that include a corrupted and manipulated media environment, democratic governments, and other institutions that should be working to address these threats have failed to rise to the challenge. So yeah, United States government, I'm not naming names, but, all of them. Smart guys say that we're 100 seconds away from either killing our ability to live on this planet or blowing ourselves up entirely. So what could we do better? Well, the furthest the clock has been from midnight was 17 minutes, after the clock was wound back a full 7 minutes after the US and Russia signed the first Strategic Arms Reduction Treaty, also known as START 1, back in 1991. So we kind of know what needs to happen to get the clock back to, say, 11:50 p.m. Probably, and I'm just speculating here, it probably involves less tweeting. Just saying. Former Ireland President Mary Robinson said, "This is no mere analogy. We're 100 seconds from midnight, and the planet needs to wake up." Sorry. Sivan Kartha is a member of the Bulletin of Atomic Scientists and a senior scientist at the Stockholm Environmental Institute. His accent is harder to pin down, so I'm just going to go with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, he said, "Despite these devastating warnings, all of a sudden governments are echoing many scientists' use of the term climate emergency. Their policies are hardly commensurate to an emergency." And he's not naming names, but come on, I think we all know who he's talking about. So we're 100 seconds away from global devastation, and it's important to make the distinction that this is global devastation of our own making. This is our fault, folks. So I don't know about y'all, but I'm going to start shopping for solar panels. So while we all contemplate our own mortality, let's head into the Roundup! More details are rolling in about Samsung's clamshell folding phone, now called the Galaxy Z Flip, which is weird because there's only one fold and the Z has two. Maybe it should be the 7 Flip, but whatever, Samsung, you do you. The folder will have a capacitive fingerprint sensor on the side and dual 12-megapixel cameras. Actually, from a specification standpoint, the phone is shaping up to be a Samsung Galaxy S10e, but with a fold and a crease. Should be fun, and I can't wait to see it. Meanwhile, Motorola's Razr goes up for pre-order on Sunday. Google I/O is coming on May 12th this year. Yesterday, Google released a puzzle that had to be collectively solved by a collection of nerds. Me? I delegated that responsibility to said collection of nerds. I had some Star Trek to watch. So I appreciate the hard work and dedication that went into solving the puzzle, but I'm also left wondering what would have happened if no one had been able to solve it. Would Google have presented to an empty room? Don't get me wrong, they would have saved a bundle on catering, but still, thank goodness for nerds, am I right? Sprint has an offer right now to repair your Samsung Galaxy smartphone screen for just $49. Oh, so they'll fix your Sprint phone screen, huh? No, they'll fix a screen from any carrier, which is pretty cool, but there are a couple of caveats. First of all, it's only for the S7 through the S9. The Note 8 is the only Note they'll do, so if you broke your screen on your older Galaxy phone, they'll do this, which is kind of weird, but okay, Sprint, once again, you do you. So if you have a qualifying smartphone with a broken screen, head on over to a Sprint repair center and maybe don't mention their teeny tiny network until after the repair is done. Apple thinks that the EU forcing all manufacturers to use a common charging port, for example USB Type-C, would be a bad idea. And in a way, Apple is right. What Apple should do is just adopt USB-C on its own. Apple is right that the EU shouldn't force manufacturers to adopt a standard. As a matter of fact, the EU shouldn't have to do that in the first place. So, adopt USB-C, Apple, and shut up. Google changed the way it displays ads on desktop browsers. Now ads are only set apart by a teeny tiny text that says ad, while other search results are preceded by fave icons. In short, it's harder to tell the difference between actual search results and ads, and The Verge is whining about it. Not that The Verge is wrong, I mean it clearly says ad. I can see The Verge's point to an extent. Google ads have become less and less obvious over the years, but personally, I'm okay with this change. I can ignore ads whether they are obvious or not. It's kind of like my superpower. 23andMe just laid off around 100 workers amidst shrinking demand for DNA tests. Funny enough, though we'll happily turn over our fingerprints, voice print, and face to private companies, it seems we draw the line at DNA. Might have something to do with the fact that 23andMe was using that genetic database to develop medicines and selling the rights recently, and maybe that's just a little on the wrong side of creepy for too many people. Of course, that happened fairly recently, so this is certainly not in response to that. Maybe it's more just desserts. Still seems harsh. Privacy is a biatch, I guess. And finally, a video circulating on the internet of the world's first wireless bungee jump is fake as hell. The premise is you strap a magnet to a person and mount another magnet on the ground so that their poles repulse each other. Then you jump. And then you die, because that's not how physics works. Wired took the time to tell us why that wouldn't work. Oddly enough, their article wasn't just a text, because it's stupid. But long story short is that while a bungee cord's deceleration is linear, a magnet's is not, which is to say, you wouldn't slow down until it was far too late. Short story even shorter, the video is fake. Oh, it's also a bad IKEA wireless charging commercial. Seriously. So that's going to do it for today's Digit Daily. If you'd like to learn more about any of these stories, check out the links in the show notes and subscribe to our daily newsletter on digit.com. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, leave a review, and don't forget to tell your friends about digitdailypod.com. Once again, I'm Adam Doud, Dead Technology on Twitter, and we'll talk again on Monday.